If you've been wondering how we can keep our children's book relevant all year round, even after our initial launch, then this video is for you. Hi there, I'm Eevi, an award-winning children's author and ghostwriter over on eevijones.com and the creator of Children's Book University. I create videos specifically for children's authors, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. Launches are exciting, and holidays where our book sales often spike are wonderful. But if we only rely on those peak moments, our books will disappear far too quickly. I wanted to put together a video that shares 7 practical, creative, and highly actionable strategies to make sure our books stay in the conversation, not just for a week or two, but all throughout the year. And in the end, I will give you a resource designed to help you put this into action right away. But before we jump in, I wanted to add a really important side note that I hope you take to heart. One of the biggest and most important differences between a book that does well and one that doesn't is how actively we as the author are sharing our book with the world and how willing we are to try different things, especially as a new author. There's simply no way around the legwork we will have to put in to make others aware of our book. Out of 100 new authors, maybe a handful is willing to continuously push their beautiful work. And it is this handful that will succeed. So go that extra mile that others are not willing to go, and I promise it will pay off. So let's jump right in. Strategy 1 to keep our book relevant all year long is to tap into seasonal reading themes. This strategy is one of the most powerful free tools we can use. Schools, libraries, and even families tend to think in seasons, right? And they often seek out books that naturally fit into what's happening during that time of year. So if we learn to position our book alongside these seasonal rhythms, our book will feel relevant 12 months out of the year, not just during launch week or the holidays. For example, in January and February, families are often focused on new routines, kindness, and love. And a book that celebrates courage, resolutions, or friendship will feel perfectly timed here. Here we could position our book as a story to kick off the new year with bravery and heart, for example. In March and April, we are talking about growth, renewal, and Earth Day. So if our story features nature, curiosity, or new adventures, this is our season to shine. A caption like, "Just as flowers are blooming, this story celebrates how little ones bloom in courage and kindness," makes it instantly seasonal. In summer months, libraries roll out their summer reading programs and parents are desperate to keep kids engaged. So if our book is fun, adventurous, or educational, we could position it as the perfect summer read aloud or road trip companion. Here we could share pictures of our book in a beach bag or tucked next to a picnic blanket. And of course, in the fall, back to school jitters take over. Parents and teachers look for books about friendship, belonging, or facing fear. So if our book touches on any of these themes, this is the time to emphasize it. By simply aligning with what's already happening seasonally, our book becomes part of the conversation that parents, teachers, and librarians are already having. And to help you get inspired year-round on how all this can tie into our calendar, you can use my social media wizard that I have created for you a while back that creates daily content prompts and ideas for us children's authors. I made sure to share the link to it in the description below. Strategy 2 to keep our book relevant all year long is to integrate it into classrooms and libraries. Schools and libraries don't just buy books, they plan entire programs. They run storytime sessions, reading challenges, and themed weeks. And the best part is that they need fresh books to support these activities all year round. For example, in February, schools might be running a kindness campaign. So if our book is about empathy or friendship, we could pitch it as a perfect read aloud. In April, libraries might be hosting Earth Day story times. So if our book has animals or nature themes, we can suggest it for their story time. So by taking the time to offer author visits or story time, we give our book more staying power in the educational space. Strategy 3 to keep our book relevant all year long is to create what I call evergreen awareness hooks. Now, when I say evergreen awareness hooks, I don't just mean holidays like Valentine's Day or Christmas. I mean the little unofficial days and ongoing causes that give us year-round opportunities to share our work in a fun and fresh way. So, for example, World Kindness Day in November is perfect for books that highlight empathy. National Puppy Day in March is perfect if our book has a dog character. International Day of Friendship in July is ideal for books about connection and belonging. And beyond official days, we can absolutely create our own evergreen hooks. For example, Motivational Monday can be celebrated by sharing an inspiring line from our book. Or Feel Good Friday could be celebrated by sharing a fun behind-the-scenes moment or a character highlight. These little hooks keep our social media content fresh without us having to constantly reinvent the wheel. And because they reappear every year, we can build them into our long-term strategy as well. For example, if we have a book about kindness, we could share something like, "Today is World Kindness Day," and this story is all about helping little ones to see just how powerful kindness can be. This feels relevant, timely, and yet remains evergreen because it works every year. Strategy 4 to keep our book relevant all year long is to refresh and repurpose our content. Something so many of us authors often forget or don't realize is that we can tweak and update our book's sales page over on Amazon anytime. One of the biggest mindset shifts we can make is to consider our sales page as a marketing tool. It's our storefront, right? And just like a shop window, it should be updated to reflect the season. So for example, in August, it could be as simple as adding a line to our description that says, "A heartwarming story to ease first day of school jitters." Or in December, we could add "the perfect stocking stuffer for little readers." And in the spring, we could say "a delightful Easter basket surprise." We can do the same with our A+ content by swapping in seasonal graphics. For example, snowy backdrops in December or sunny picnic scenes in July. These small updates keep our book page fresh and signal to buyers that our book is alive and relevant. And we can reuse these creative visuals every year. I have a whole video with ideas for our A+ content, so I made sure to share that in the comments below. And we could do the same with our keywords. People's search habits and search vocabulary change throughout the year, right? So we can reflect that in our list of keywords as well, because that's something we, again, can update anytime. And if you need any help finding the best keywords specifically for your own book, I made sure to share my separate video on just that in the description below as well. And don't forget about social media. Here we can repurpose our content seasonally as well, because we can absolutely repost already shared illustrations or posts by simply adding a seasonal spin to it. Refreshing doesn't mean creating new material every time. It means reimagining what we already have in a way that feels timely. Strategy 5 to keep our book relevant all year long is to bundle our book with other experiences. This is my favorite strategy. Books don't always have to stand alone, right? So with this strategy, we want to think about how we can package our book with other items or experiences that make it a perfect gift or teaching tool. Since we are most likely having our book set up on a print-on-demand platform, it might be a bit more challenging to combine it with something physical, like a stuffed animal or stickers. Instead, we can focus on something that is digital or an experience. So for example, if our book is about starting preschool or heading off to kindergarten, we could create a little confidence kit for parents and our little readers. This could include a printable first aid checklist with fun icons that remind kids what to pack or bring along, or affirmation cards that little ones can read out loud to boost their confidence, or even a short guided video where we walk children through a breathing exercise or repeat positive affirmations together. And to make it extra fun, we could also add a printable thank you card that kids can fill in for their new teacher on their very first day of school. Or if our story is about getting a new pet, we could put together a pet welcome kit. This might include a printable pet chore card that helps children keep track of feeding or walking their new friend, or custom coloring pages featuring the characters from our book, and a simple PDF with kid-friendly tips on how to care for their pet. We could even add a fun activity like a make your own pet story worksheet where kids can draw or write their own mini adventures starring their real life pet alongside the character from our book. Or if our book focuses on nature or the environment, we could create a nature adventure kit. This could include a printable nature scavenger hunt with prompts like find a red leaf or spot a bird, along with a simple nature journal kids can use to draw or write about what they discover outside. And to make the experience even richer, we could add a short video lesson where we talk about the importance of caring for the earth, or even record a short audio meditation for children, inviting them to imagine lying in a sunny meadow listening to the sound of nature around them. And if we want to create something more universal, we could create what I call a 360 experience bundle. This could include a printable activity pack with coloring sheets, puzzles, or word searches inspired by our book, along with a video read aloud where we share our story in our own voice. To round it out, we might add a behind-the-scenes video where we show early sketches or talk about how the book came to be, plus a short set of reflection questions or journal prompts that parents or teachers can use with children to extend the conversation. A read-aloud video is really easy to do, and I have a whole separate video on it as well, so I made sure to share it in the description. If you need help or some inspiration to come up with even more resources you could create for your own story to be included in any of these kits, make sure to watch my separate video on that as well. When we create a digital or experiential bundle, we are not just selling a book. We are creating an ecosystem of experiences around our story. This makes our book feel more interactive and valuable, and we can provide it instantly with no added costs by sharing it on our website, for example. If you don't have an author website just yet, don't worry. I've got you covered here as well with my author website studio, where we can create our very own website without any monthly or annual subscription fees or costs. This is in the description below as well. Strategy 6 to keep our book relevant all year long is to tie it to current conversations or current events. Now, I don't mean jumping into every news cycle. What I mean is listening to what parents, teachers, and communities are already talking about and showing how our book naturally fits into that. For example, if parents are talking about back-to-school anxiety, we can share how our book helps kids feel brave. If kindness campaigns are trending online, we can highlight the empathy message in our story. If a movie comes out featuring dinosaurs and our book also has dinosaurs, we can write that wave of interest. This works especially well on social media by using hashtags that align with what's trending. The key here is to join the conversation in a way that feels authentic. If our book naturally connects to what people are already talking about, that's the perfect moment to step in and share. And finally, strategy 7 to keep our book relevant all year long is to position it as a go-to gift. Books are one of the most versatile and meaningful gifts, and there are so many moments throughout the year when parents, grandparents, and teachers are looking for exactly that. Here we want to think beyond the holidays. Birthdays happen every single month. Baby showers happen year-round. Teacher Appreciation Week is every May. And graduation isn't just for high school, right? It's for preschool and kindergarten as well. So instead of only talking about our book as a holiday gift, position it as the perfect birthday surprise, or a beautiful keepsake for a baby shower, or a meaningful graduation gift. By framing our book as a go-to gift for multiple life moments, we are no longer dependent on December sales. We have given our book gift-giving power all year long. So whether we tap into seasonal reading themes, create evergreen awareness hooks, or bundle our book with other experiences, I hope your biggest takeaway is this. Relevance comes from contextualizing our book within readers' lives. So instead of pushing the book itself, we frame it as the solution or perfect companion to something already happening, whether that's holidays, seasons, awareness days, school events, or everyday parenting challenges. Our book doesn't just have one season to shine, it has 12. And by aligning with what's already happening in the lives of parents, teachers, and librarians, we give our story the staying power it truly deserves. And as promised, I wanted to share a little something that will help you take all of this even further. We just talked about how powerful it is to tie our books to awareness days and celebrations, those built-in hooks that keep our stories relevant all year long. And to make that super simple for you, I went ahead and created something I call the Evergreen Awareness Calendar. This calendar is packed with celebration days, awareness months, and in-depth examples for every single month of the year, where you will see exactly how to connect a real-life children's book to a new celebration each month. It's fun, it's practical, and it will save you so much time and energy. You can download your Evergreen Awareness Calendar for free, so I'll make sure to link it below. I so hope you found this video really inspiring when it comes to making your beautiful book relevant all year long. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. It really encourages me to keep making free videos for you just like this one. Let's make this a time your book stays relevant, celebrated, and loved all year long. Bye!